So, now back at what do you do in Brooklyn again? I know you said you were a supervisor, your mentor.
At Brooklyn Job Corps Academy, I am the mental health consultant there. And so my job there is to work with the youth. It's a training institute for young people. It's government run.
Okay.
And we work with youth from 16, although we don't take too many 16-year-olds in the program, 16 to 24. You have to be before your 25th birthday to enter the program.
Oh, wow.
And then
Very specific.
It's free for the trainees, and that's what we call them, trainees, even though it's kind of a school. And it's free, but you have to be basically at poverty level in order to get into the program. You can get your high school diploma or GED, and then you can get one of 6 trades. And the trades are security. There are 2 IT trades to learn to do things with computers, culinary, and there's medical assistant and nursing assistant. So, and so for some of the trades, you have to have a high school diploma before you can get in them. My job is to do screenings if anybody is homicidal or suicidal, to work with any trainee that's got any trauma issues. So there's a questionnaire that they're asked the first week they're there. And if they check off anything in the mental health section, if they're having difficulty sleeping, if they're having difficulty eating, if they're feeling sad, like there's a whole bunch of questions. Any of those things, I do a screening with them and I find out more about that. And then determine based on what their answers are, what to do. So one thing could be for them to work with me for a short period of time for me to help them. So if they have test anxiety, I might teach them some meditation to help them address their test anxiety. I can usually do that in a few sessions. Or it's difficulty sleeping, I might teach them some meditation for that too, or try to figure out what's going on with their sleep. If it's something a bit bigger than that, then I might have them work with my intern if I think they're appropriate to work with my intern. So I have an intern right now, master's students from the same school I went to, but a different program. And so they're there for the year. And so they might do weekly therapy and then I do supervision with the intern. So, but this allows the trainees to have weekly therapy on site. They don't have to worry about paying for anything. They don't have to worry about insurance. They don't have to worry about going anywhere else. We pull them out of class and they meet with the intern. And then if it's something that I think is maybe an issue that's too much for the intern to handle because the interns are new at doing therapy, then they would go outside for therapy. And if they go to someplace outside for therapy, my job is to monitor things. I meet with them every 3 months to find out how things are going. I get some paperwork from the therapist that gives me information about their diagnosis, make sure that they are going to their appointments weekly as they're supposed to. If they are taking medication, make sure that they're taking their medication as they're supposed to. And if there are any difficulties, then I will work with the trainee to try to help them resolve that. So if they feel like they can't really open up to this male therapist, then I might help them, negotiate so that they can advocate to get a female therapist or something like that. So that's what I do there at Job Corps.
Wow, that is amazing. So,
and then I do trainings also. I do a little workshop with the new trainees. I tell them about mental health and talk to them about the stigma of mental health, help them understand what to do if somebody's suicidal, and tell them a little bit about me so that I'm not so scary when they come back to my office to meet with me. And I do training with the staff. I meet with the career counselors weekly to talk about any challenges they have with the trainees and help them work through it. And then periodically I do trainings with the staff on teaching them about adolescent development, since that's technically the group we're working with, and other staff training, managing the classroom. I teach the staff how to meditate also when needed, and how to take care of themselves so that they can take care of the trainees. That's the training that I just did this past winter.
That is amazing, and it sounds like there's a lot of support. So speaking of support, I noticed from our conversation so far, you went into your program very young, you said clueless, and with very, very minimal or actually no support. And now you're working with that age group in a way, and you're giving them a lot of support. So connecting the dots, how was not having support for you back in the day while trying to get this degree?
It was difficult, but I think I was too naive and fortunately, I was driven enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I guess, one of the things I do notice with my trainees that sometimes is frustrating because I know how driven I am,
Yeah.
that I have to be very mindful of staying empathetic to them because I decided this is what I'm going to do, and I didn't let anything stop me. And
Mm-hmm.
some of the young people I work with feel defeated before they even start. You know? So I really try to help them. In fact, one of the things that I say in my little training when I'm talking to them about mental health is tenacity. My favorite word in the English language is tenacity.
Yes.
And I think that's the what you need to be successful no matter what you're going to do in life, because there are always going to be obstacles.
Yes.
I share with them that I failed the test. There's a big test, the qualifier, that you have to take to go from the master's level to the PhD level. The first time I took it, I failed it. And I share that with them and with you because to me, that's just part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I was, upset and devastated at the time, but I figured out what I did wrong, did it better, and passed the next time. And nobody ever asked me, how many times did I have to take this test in order to be a psychologist? They want to know that I'm licensed and they know about my experience. And I tell my trainees, they want to know that you have your certification, that you have some experience. They're not going to ask you how many times you've taken your certification exam. So that's just part of the process. So what I love about working there is I do feel so much like I'm giving back. The programs in the neighborhood I grew up in, I'm working with people that look like me, that come from experiences similar and many more devastating than my challenging childhood. And so I love it because I'm giving back.
That's a lot. That's a lot too. That's amazing actually, because like I was saying, you went from no support to giving all the support you can, and I feel like that's an amazing feat.
But not no support. Okay. I probably, it would have been great if I had more support, but there was support. As I said, there was the Caucasian Jewish psychologist that I worked with undergraduate. So he didn't understand any of the cultural stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably, I don't even know if he knew how many hours I was working outside of being, his TA, but I definitely felt supported by him. I definitely felt like he gave me whatever he could in terms of working with children.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had the woman that was my mentor, the faculty member at NYU. She was incredible. And so I did get support along the way. I didn't have, I guess, the family background.
I think that's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did you have any family support, like from your mom or any other?
No, not going. My mom was supportive going undergraduate, but she and I were having some difficulties actually. And so the support I had was my first husband at the time, but not a lot. I don't have a big family, so not a lot of family support. I had to get my support from other places. If anything, again, the Association of Black Psychologists was probably my biggest source of support. Mm-hmm. Just knowing that they've done what I did, or knowing that they already done what I was trying to do. I said it right that time, I think. That was my biggest source of support, and because they look like me and they did it. So, and it's still one of my favorite places to be, around the Association of Black Psychologists, which is it's an incredible group of wonderful people.
I am glad. And there was this question I wanted to ask you, like the very first beginning, but I wanted to go in before. Mm-hmm. Your name.
Yes.
Your name. So your name is Akhu, correct?
Akhu, yes.
Okay. And the first name I know from asking my grandma is for a female born on a Monday.
That's correct, and I was.
So, are you Ghanaian?
I am not. I was born and raised in Brooklyn. I've been to Ghana, and I was actually given the name. The Association of Black Psychologists went to Ghana for a conference, and I went. Wow. And I went for a spiritual reading, and I was given the name when I was in Ghana. But yeah, no, I'm not Ghanaian.
Okay.
Not that I know of. I don't know. I only know about my American roots. I don't know from that yet.
No, that is very interesting, because I was like, grandma, this name, because it's my aunt's name as well. And she was born on a Monday, so I was just intrigued. I was like, oh, so we have a Ghanaian psychologist? Because being that my family is from Ghana, I haven't seen even when I look up different doctoral programs or even when I was looking at master's programs, I haven't seen a lot of Ghanaian names or like African names at all. So I was scared that I was not even going to find Black names, and it was just an interesting search. So when I saw your name on the APA registry, I was jumping for joy.
Oh, I'm glad I make you jump for joy.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, there's a African American as a psychologist. What is that a thing? It's intense. It's intense. I'm sorry, I got excited, but yes. I was just intrigued by your name.
My name does make me stand out in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I am American, definitely people contact me all the time thinking that I'm not because of the name, which is fine because I'm definitely culturally centered. So, and did you also know that Audra means hardworking? I think
yes.
fits me as well. And I have double A's, so I'm at the top of all the lists.
Oh, wow.
Akhu, right? I didn't plan that part out. It does work well.
It works well. And it shows how amazing you are. I mean, look at where you are now. That is so cool.